Hey everyone, it's Phoenix, and I'm making a video today to talk about a new add-on I'm going to be uploading to ESO UI called Treasure Box. And it's basically a collections add-on to help you keep track of all of the little flavor treasures that you find in the game, like when you pickpocket and when you steal stuff. Um, I think they're kind of cool. The devs have put a lot of effort into making little stories behind all these little items. There's actually thousands of these things in the game, and usually you just kind of sell them to a fence or junk them, and they don't really get a lot of attention. So I made this add-on which will keep track of all the ones you find, let you search them. You can browse all the ones in the game. It's pretty cool. It adds, I think, a lot to the whole thievery outlaw gameplay style, which is something I really enjoy. So I'm going to talk about all the features and everything. Before I get too far into it, I wanted to mention that I've linked in the description. If you guys could maybe just check it out. I actually set up a GoFundMe page for my dad. His old 30-year-old Jeep has basically died. The transmission is now gone, and it's had a engine block leak for a long time. They've been limping it along, but it's about dead, and that's his only mode of transportation. And it's actually my only mode of transportation because he is my caregiver. I don't know if a lot of people know, but I'm actually on disability for a brain cavernoma, and I don't drive, so it's 30 miles into town, and he's basically my chaperone, or not chaperone, but my he drives me into town to get groceries and go to doctor's appointments. So I've been trying to find a way to scrape together enough to get him some kind of a vehicle that would be nice for him. He's an older guy, and I think he deserves a little comfort for everything that he's done for me, and it would really mean a lot. So if you know anybody, or if you can pass the link around, like I said, I put it down in the description, so that'd mean a lot if you guys could just check that out. So that said, let me go ahead and switch over here, and I will show you how the add-on works. Okay, so here we are in game, and I'm just going to kind of find some place out of the way over here to bring up the user interface to show you how the add-on actually works. So first thing, you can actually set a keybind to open it up. It's under your it's under ESO Treasure Box, so you can set a keybind for that. There are a couple of options. Most of it's handled through the user interface itself, but if you go under the add-on settings, you can, by default, it sorts where the list of characters is shown, which I'll get into. It sorts it alphabetically. If you turn that off, it will attempt to sort it by the order that you see on your login screen. But there's a minor caveat there where the game actually hasn't been updated since they added the ability to drag characters around in that list. So it only keeps track of their creation order. So if you've reordered your characters, that's not going to be of much use to you. But if they're still in the order on your login screen as you created them, you can turn this off to see the list of characters as you do on your login screen order. Otherwise, they're alphabetized. The other option is to show it in 12 or 24-hour time. So in 12-hour time, you get the standard. There's no 0 before the hours. It still has like 05 or 06 minutes, and then it has AM or PM. The 24-hour time is like military time, so you get like 0800 hours type of a thing. I think people in a lot of places in Europe might use that format, so I added an option there for that. So let's go ahead and bring up the main add-on interface. So this is the little treasure box interface. So by default, it's going to show a list of all of the treasures that you've already found on all your characters on the account. So that's what's showing right here. There's a whole bunch of filters you can apply. So I'll kind of cover all those briefly. You can also toggle showing all the treasures in the game. So you can there's a whole lot of them, as you can see here. So you can actually use these filters then to look at everything. I like keeping it just showing the things that I found. Probably once you, it should be really quick. But once you start getting up into the thousands of things you found, you might leave the filters on to only show certain types, so it is quicker and there's less to sort through, but it will remember what your filters are on. So as far as the filters go, you can filter by quality type and show just the different qualities you found or that exist in the game. So just if you wanted to see all the higher quality things that you found, I don't think I've actually, no, I haven't found any legendary or epic on this character yet, at least not while I was testing for the last week or so. But that's kind of cool. You can see at a glance just the quality of stuff that you found. As you can see, when you hover over these, you get obviously the main treasure tooltip. So this is the kind of thing you find when you're pickpocketing or when you are stealing things. Sometimes I think Miri drops those little bags in treasure chests, have some non-stolen versions of these, but those basically they're the same. They show up as well. So you can read the little flavor text at any time. Some of them are kind of cool. The devs obviously went out of their way to create some things that are relevant to the lore, a lot of things that are funny little jokes. They're just fun to read, and there's a ton of them. So if you're like me and you like reading everything in Elder Scrolls games, this is going to be kind of cool for that. And then you can see below there, it will show the last zone that you found this in, the last character that found this particular treasure, the time that it was last found, and then the total number of that treasure that you have found on any of your characters, and then it will build a list of all the zones you found that particular treasure in. I think like some of these that I found have actually been in multiple zones. Most of the higher quality things tend to be zone specific. There are some overlap obviously, but there's a lot of treasures that are like specific to just one zone, and you can tell because they kind of have a theme to that zone, which is kind of cool. Like there's a lot of Murkmire stuff that's just specific to Argonians. But it'll like build this list of zones that you found it in, so you can kind of see what things drop most often, what are more rare, so that's kind of neat. And then you can sort by time, so you can see like here just things you found in the last 3 days, in the last week, in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, last month. It's got the little up here you can see the tooltip of what each one of these options does, and then just anything. So probably once this list gets really big, you can just leave this on last 3 days, and that'll keep the list shorter, which is probably what I will do. And then it remembers these options you've selected if you close the app and open it back up again. It shows you the total treasures you found and the total number in the game. I actually built this to be intelligently self-updating, so anytime it detects that there was an API change, like if they've added a new chapter or a new patch that changed the API version, it will automatically update itself. It goes in and looks for any new treasures in the game on your first login on a new client version, and it will update its total list. It will update some of the other things like the list of categories, which I'll get into, and it'll update this total. So it doesn't actually require any updating. I still might need to actually come and fix any bugs if something breaks, but it's built to be auto updating, which is kind of cool. It'll show actually the top zone. So of these 406 treasures I found, most of them I found in Gold Coast, just because I was testing mostly in Anvil and Kvatch. So that's just something that it keeps track of as well, which is just kind of a neat little thing. This is really cool. I like the way this turned out. This is basically like a ticker taped sort of a scrolling list of the most recently found treasures. So like reading a book, it goes left to right. This is the newest thing, the most recent thing you found, and then it goes, you know, older to the right, and then next down to the next line, older, and this will just continuously scroll as you find things. And it's got this neat little pop out here where you can set it to only show things in this list that are of a quality and higher. So I usually put it on blue and higher just because I really only care about, you know, special things that I find. but you can actually put it on normal and higher, so this will show everything that you found recently, no matter what the quality level is, or green or higher, like I said, but I usually keep it on blue. But that's really neat. It's just a continually scrolling list, so you can kind of just pop up the add-on if you deleted anything, or the guards caught you and took away all your treasure, or if you sold a defense but you wanted to read all the little flavor text. It'll show you the most recent things, which is neat to know, and it's also, you can just go and filter search all through it. But yeah, that kind of came up pretty neat. Another thing that's cool is the category search. So when it goes out and looks for all the treasures in the game, it looks at each one of these, and as you can see, like here it says treasure type. This one says oddities. Some of them have multiple categories, like here's one that's ritual objects and tools. So it looks at each treasure, and then it makes a list for each one of each category that it's in. And then it takes cumulatively all those categories and it puts it into this list. And you can then go in here and say, like, for example, if I just wanted to look for all things that were classed as games, so I could just click on that and it'll show me all the things that I found that are considered games. And the same thing works for, like, if you toggle it to showing everything. I think, it's because I have that filter on here. Turn that off. There we go. So if you have it toggled so that, by the way, if your filters ever get in the way like that, like I was showing things that I've only found within the last 3 days, which overrides the show things you haven't found, because it's only showing things you found within 3 days. So obviously they have to have been found, so you won't see the things that you haven't found, even if this is on, if that's set there. But you can hit this button at any time, which resets all your filters. And then that way you can use some of these other ones that are like the categories one. So if I wanted to see all the things categorized as games, whether I found them or not, that's how you can do that. I usually keep this off just because I kind of consider that like roleplay cheating, because I only really want to see the things I have found. That was the whole point of the add-on, but it's neat to be able to, really, I mean, there's over 4,000 of these things, so that's a lot of reading, but it's kind of cool to do the reading just if you have some time and you just want to mess around with it. But so you can search by category. That's kind of neat. This will let you search for things you found in any zone that you found things, and this list automatically updates as you find things in different zones. So like, I think some of these I haven't really found really much of anything. One thing I found in Grotwood, just because I haven't really been testing it that much, but like Murkmire, here you can see there is stuff that is like specific to the theme of a zone, which is kind of neat. Like as this list gets built out, you'll see more and more zones, and you can go into each one of these and see, like, stuff that shows up just in that zone. You can look at the total found and get an idea for whether or not this is being found in other zones, or like the found in zones list at the bottom, and see things that are just for that zone. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of has some of the lore for the zone in these little treasure tooltips. So it's kind of cool to go through and be able to see what is found in just a particular zone, especially if you've got a thief character that does a lot of thievery and stuff. You'll end up with a lot of stuff to read. So that's kind of neat. And then you've got a list of characters, so you can actually filter and just show things that a given character is found. And this is less useful, but I have multiple thieves, so sometimes I like to see like just the stuff one of my thieves has found. So that's another option. You can filter by character. And again, that list is alphabetized by default. You can actually set it to be according to your login list, like I said before. There is also a text search, so you can come down here and search for names of things, which is neat. It's more helpful when you have this turned on, because there's so many that you can actually find. Like, what I found was kind of fun, because something else you can do is any of these and any of the ones in your recent list, if you hold down the shift key and then click, it's going to put it in your chat, so you can actually link those in chat. And something I found that was kind of fun when I was bored is you can search for different things and make like a Mad Lib. So you can sort of make a story out of the names of different treasures. And I came up with some really crazy stories, but it's just something that's, if chat is ever really slow, it's just something that you could do. Mostly it's just for linking things. But yeah, you can actually search things, and then clicking that will reset the text search, or you can just hit the reset button. So that's another option, is to search by text. And I think that pretty much covers most of the features. Yeah, that's pretty much the add-on in a nutshell. So let's see, what else did I not cover? I guess that's about it. I do find that it really does add a lot to the thieving playstyle, which I do really enjoy. So hopefully you find the add-on useful for that kind of stuff. I do find that after especially the new CP changes with the green tree, that thieving is actually pretty lucrative. So if you combine, like I did on this character real quick, this is not really related to the add-on, but I've got a Khajiit character who gets 5% better pickpocketing chance. I have a bunch of guild stuff, so I have obviously the Thieves Guild stuff, which gives me 10% more value for things that I sell to the fence. And there's some other stuff in here regarding detections and whatnot that's obviously useful for thieving. Dark Brotherhood, not really anything useful, just makes it easier to get away and stuff like that. But this one, Leisure Domain, it gives you a couple things that are really useful. Better pickpocketing chance, so a total of 55% better chance if you're Khajiit. Increases the number of things you can sell. So if you max this out, you can sell a total of 140 things a day. And combine that with the 10% more value of things you sell to the fence. I think that's the only ones in there. And then combine that with the green trees change, which gives you 25% more value to fenced items. So you get 35% more gold for selling these things. And there's some other cool things in here too, like well, this one's neat. You turn invisible for 5 seconds after you use Blade of Woe, which is kind of useful for getting away. This one was really cool though. A chance to get higher quality loot when you pickpocket. So there's a chance to get more value out of the stuff you pickpocket and sell it for more. So on average, if I actually max out and sell a full 140 per day, and I also use the Dustman add-on to basically just automatically delete white quality treasures, so I only want to save green quality and above. And if I just sell all those and actually hit the max for your daily sells to a fence, I usually can clear about 40,000 gold per day on one character, just selling treasures, which is actually pretty good, especially for a newer character. If you get those specific things I mentioned maxed out, it's a good reliable source of gold. And combine that with your crafting writs and you can actually make really decent gold. So I find that the add-ons is really fun while you're already doing that, to keep track of everything you're getting, and read stuff after you've already sold it, so you don't have to worry about reading it before you sell it. You can just bam, knock it out real quick for the day and be done with it, and then come back into your app and read things whenever you have time. So it's kind of cool for that. And that's about it. That's the Treasure Box add-on. I'm going to be uploading this to ESO UI as soon as I finish this video. So I hope that, like me, you get some enjoyment out of the add-on in your thieving and Life of Crime adventures in Tamriel. And like I said before, if you guys have any time to check out the link in the description to the GoFundMe page, it would really be like kind of a dream for me to be able to give something like that back to my dad. He's helped me a lot through this whole health thing I've had, and I know it's a stressful thing to be losing your only car, so and he's an old guy, so it would really mean a lot if you could just check it out, or if you know anybody who might be able to check it out. I will put the link in the description for that, and that's about it. So everybody stay safe out there, and have fun in Tamriel, and I'll see you next time.